Okay, friends, now we see the problem number 28. From the following information, prepare cost sheet for the year ending 30th June 2017. They asked to prepare cost sheet for the year 2017. Regarding the costing information, they are given us direct material rupees direct material rupees 8 lakh. Okay. And second item, direct labor. Direct labor is 40% on direct material cost. So you calculate 40 percentage on 8 lakh rupee, that will be direct labor. Then direct expense is 50% of direct labor. So the third item is direct expense, that is to be calculated on the basis of direct labor cost. Direct expense is 50% of direct labor cost. Okay, you make 50% of direct labor cost, you will get direct expense. Then factory overhead. Factory overhead is 25% of prime cost. Factory overhead is 25% of prime cost. On the prime cost, you calculate 25%. Then you will get factory overhead. Okay. The next is office and administration overhead is absorbed at 300 rupees per 10 unit produced. For every 10 unit, 300 rupees. Then you calculate what is the administrative overhead per unit. 300 rupees for 10 unit, you divide by 10 unit, you will get cost per unit. 300 divided by 10, that is 30 rupees. 30 rupees is the office and administration overhead per unit produced. Okay. The next is selling and distribution expense. The selling and distribution expenses have applied at 1000 per 100 units sold. Selling expenses rupees 1000. 1000 for every 100 units sold. So you divide the 1000 rupee by 100 units, you will get selling and distribution expense per unit. Okay. The next is opening finished stock. Opening finished stock is 1600 unit. Its rate is cost is 80 rupee per unit. You adjust this in cost of production. That is, add opening finished stock in the cost of production. Then closing finished stock is 800 unit. You have to deduct it in the or adjust in the cost of production, but amount is not given in the problem. Amount is not given in the problems, therefore you calculate the amount based on closing stock unit and cost of production per unit. Okay, I'll explain it while solving the problem. And finished goods sold. Finished goods sold is 32,800 units. It is the complication you see here. Finished goods sold. How many units you sold is given in the problem. How many units sold given in the problem. Unit produced is not given in the problem. Whatever problems already solved, in those problems, there was unit produced. But in this problem, unit sold is given. So you have to calculate unit produced. For unit produced, you have to follow the equation. Equation is unit sold plus closing stock minus opening stock. How to calculate unit produced? Unit produced is equal to Am I audible? It is all because of the internet problem. Sorry for disturbance. You see here, opening stock units is 1,600, closing stock finished units is 800, and unit sold is 32,800. In this problem, you have to calculate unit produced. Unit produced is equal to unit sold plus closing stock unit minus opening stock unit. You follow this equation. Once again, I'll tell you, unit produced is equal to unit sold plus closing stock unit minus opening stock unit. You apply this equation and ascertain the unit sold. Then profit is 1/6 of the sales. They asked to calculate profit 1/6 of the profit. For every one sales, 1/6 is the profit. It is fraction part. Okay, we'll solve this problem. You see here. You see the cost sheet for the year ending 30th June 2017. In particular, first item raw material consumed. Raw material consumed is 8 lakh. Okay. Then you have to divide this by number of units produced. Number of units produced is not given the problem. Therefore, I am unable to calculate here. You see how I proceed. You see my technique. Unit produced is not given the problem, so I will not calculate the cost per unit. The next is direct labor. Direct labor is 50% of material. Material is 8 lakh. On 8 lakhs, you take 40%. It is 40%. 40% of 8 lakh rupees, 3 lakh 20,000. This is the direct labor. Then direct expense is 50% of direct labor. Direct labor is 3 lakh 20,000. On 3 lakh 20,000, you calculate 50%. 50% of this is 1 lakh 60,000. 1 lakh 60,000. Okay, you take the total of these three. It is called as prime cost. Prime cost. So prime cost is 1,28,000. Then add factory overhead. Factory overhead is 25%. 25% on prime cost. It is given in the problem. They asked to calculate 25% on prime cost. So prime cost is 12,80,000. On 12,80,000, you calculate 25%, and this is 3,20,000. 3,20,000 is the factory overhead. Okay. So factory overhead is 3,20,000. You take the total. Total is 16 lakh. This 16 lakh is called as factory cost. Factory cost or work cost or production cost. You use different words and names. Next is office and administration overhead. Office and administration overhead is 300 rupee for every 10 unit. Okay, 300 rupee for every 10 unit, and I taken as 3,200 units. How I taken? I taken this 3,200 unit based on unit sold plus closing stock minus opening stock. Unit sold is 32,800. Add 800, 33,600 minus opening stock 1,600. That is 32,000. 32,000 unit produced. Okay, 32,000 unit produced. 300 is for every 10 unit. Therefore, 300 divided by 10. 300 divided by 10. Its amount is 9,60,000. 9,60,000 is the administrative overhead. Take the total. total is cost of production. 25,60,000 is the cost of production. 25,60,000 cost of production. And next you add opening finished stock. Opening finished stock is 1600 unit. Rate per unit is 80 rupees. So 1600 unit amount is 1,28,000. You add this. Total is 26,88,000. It is not possible to take the unit column total. You see my calculation carefully. Finished stock is 800 unit. Okay. Here I am unable to calculate the value because cost of production per unit is not here. Therefore, next stage, you see how I am calculating the required amounts. Okay. So 32,800 units are the unit sold. You see here. At the cost of production is 25,60,000. Opening stock I added 1,600 unit. Amount is 1,28,000.
Your voice is breaking.
Voice is not clear. I'm sorry. It is because of internet problem. I'll complete this problem and I'll repeat the same problem at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. I don't know where the...
Sir, we are unable to hear you.
Oh. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You see here, the cost of production is 25,60,000. 25,60,000 is the cost of production. And there is no unit produced. Okay. Add 1600 unit. Amount is 1,28,000. Unit column, it is not possible to take total. Amount is 26,80,000. And at the stage of finished stock, 800 units are there. Value is not given the problem. And quantity sold, unit sold is 32,800. Okay, 32,800 plus 800. 32,800 plus 800 is equal to 33,600. I am going reverse. 32,800 plus 800 is equal to 33,600. Then you deduct 1,600 and you will get the cost of unit produced, 32,000 unit produced. Okay. Now you calculate the rate per unit. Go at the upper levels. Cost of production per unit is 80. 25,60,000 divided by 32,000. In the same way you go at the reverse order. 96,000, 9,60,000 divided by 32,000. 16 lakh divided by 32,000. 3,22,000 divided by 32,000. 12,80,000 divided by 32,000. 1,60,000 divided by 32,000. 3,20,000 divided by 32,000. 8 lakh divided by 32,000. Like this, you go in a reverse order, you will get the cost per unit. Now the cost per unit is 80 rupee. Cost of production per unit is 80. Then you take that 80 to calculate value of closing stock. Value of closing stock is 800 into 80, that is 64,000. You deduct that 26,24,000 is the cost of goods sold and 80 rupees the per unit. Then selling and distribution overhead. Selling and distribution overhead is 1,000 for every 100 units sold. 1,000 for every 100 units sold. So 32,800 into 1,000 divided by 100. Its value is 3,28,000. Divide by 32,800, per unit selling cost is 10. Per unit selling cost is 10. Then you take the total. Total is 29,52,000. Per unit is 90. 90 rupees the per unit. Okay. This is called as cost of sale. Cost of sale. Then profit. What is profit? Profit is 1/6 of sales. Sale is not given in the problem. Therefore, for every 1 rupee sale, 1/6 is the profit. You remember this point. For every 1 rupee sale, 1/6 is the profit. So, in 1 unit, you deduct 1/6. 1 minus 1/6 is 5/6. 5/6 is called as cost of sale. Cost of sale. And for every 5/6 cost of sale, 1/6 is the profit. Then whatever given in the problem, total cost of sale, for that amount, what is the profit? We have to ascertain. You see here. 29,52,000 is the cost of sale into 1/6 is the profit divided by 5/6. In the simplification, it comes as 6/5. Okay. Its value is 5,90,400. 18 rupees per unit. Per unit profit is 18 rupees. So sale is 35,42,400. Then selling price per unit is 108. You see here, I calculated here. 1 minus 1/6 is equal to 5/6. Okay. 1 minus 1/6 is equal to 5/6. 5/6 is called as cost of sale. Remember this. Out of one sale, you note down this point. Out of 1 rupee sale, 1/6 is the profit. So you deduct 1/6 from 1. 5/6 is the cost of sale. So for 5/6 cost of sale, 1/6 is the profit. Therefore, you take as cost of sale is 29,52,000 into profit. Profit is 1/6. 29,52,000 into 1/6 is the profit divided by cost of sale per rupee. That is 5/6. I have to make one more step. In this case, I directly taken the answer. I have taken the answer directly, so it is confusing to you people. You make steps like this. Profit is equal to 29,52,000 into 1/6 divided by 5/6. You make one more step. 29,52,000 into 1/6 divided by pi by 6. In the next step, that divided whatever denominator value takes up the upper level numerator point. While taking it in numerator point, it changes the position. 5 by 6 becomes 6 by 5. The same point I considered here. Okay. I'm not clear about your problems because internet problem is here. I'm also worry about you. Yes, Prajakta, what is your problem?
Sir, will you please explain once again from office and administrative overheads?
Office and administrative overhead. Okay. Office and administrative overhead is rupees 300 for every 10 unit produced. Okay. For 10 unit, it is 300. What is the administrative cost per unit? 300 divided by 10.
30 rupees.
Okay. 300 divided by 10 is 30 rupees. And unit produced is 32,000. You have to calculate it separately. Unit produced, you have to calculate separately below the problem. Unit produced is equal to unit sold plus closing stock unit minus opening stock unit. You apply this equation. You will get 32,000. Okay. 32,000 unit produced. That is to be calculated separately. Equation is unit sold plus closing stock unit minus opening stock unit. Because unit produced is not given in the problem. I'll see the recording. If the recording is visible and clear, I'll upload. Otherwise, once again, I'll dictate the same problem. It is
Okay, sir.
enough for today. I'll not continue because here internet problem is here. I'll not simply waste the time. Okay.